Alrighty, welcome back everyone to episode 3 of Rocket League Jeopardy. Come one, come all, as Rocket League enthusiasts get to play a little bit of trivia to see how well the Rocket League knowledge is. This week we got 3 contestants. We had a last second fill-in, unfortunately, as Fura not able to make it for unknown reasons, but we were able to find someone to replace him. But starting out, we have someone who loves their strawberry and chocolate milk. They are an avid enjoyer of both the Assassin's Creed and Metal Gear Solid series. And they have a slight placebo where the Octane feels a bit more out of control than the Fennec. But to any Rocket League player, we all have our placebos, but that one is definitely valid. I gotta give it to you. That will be Claymore.
Alright.
Yeah, so Claymore. And secondly, we have someone who is GC3 and 2s. They're 15 years old and they live in the Midwest, Oklahoma. That is going to be Legs. Finally, our third and final contestant of the day. They are left-handed and they are colorblind, so maybe the blue board is not going to be that well-fitting for you, but we'll power through it one way or another. That is going to be Green. Also kind of ironic with your name now that I think about it. And I am your host, Skyline, as always, as we get ready for episode 3. New board, new questions, new categories. And yeah, I'm excited to get into this one, ladies and gentlemen, but let us go ahead and get started. So behind the scenes, we did have a little bit of a questionnaire, I guess. Like the Claymore, Green, and Legs had to guess the closest number, and I think there was a little bit of ties. I think there was like 3 ties in a row between the numbers, and then Legs was the one who came out on top. So he will choose first off the board, but first, let's get to know our categories. So firstly, as you already see on your screen, it is going to be point actions. So essentially what this means is that what you are going to see, like the accolades you get in games from getting points, so whether it be like a shot on target or something, I'm going to show you the picture of that exact point that you get. You just have to tell me the name of it. All right, the category number 2 is going to be training. So that is going to be certain types of things that are in training. You have to tell me the name of those. Your third category is going to be coaches. This is more on the RLCS side of things. These are the coaches behind all the pro teams that have led their teams to the levels that they have reached to now. Fourth category today is going to be RLCS venues. So the venues, this is going to be, I give you a description of what happened at this event. You have to tell me the name of the venue it was in or the city. I will accept either answer. So remember, it can be either the name of the arena itself or it can be the city that was in. Your fifth category is going to be boost trails. I'm going to give you an image of a boost trail and a description of it. You are going to tell me the answer of that boost trail. And like I said, just make sure that you do not answer that question until I finish the statement. And finally, if we got boost trails, we got to get the one that some people get confused with as well. It's going to be wheel trails. Same exact as the boost trails. I give you a photo, give you a description, try to help you out a little bit, and then you will give me the answer. So like I stated previously, Legs won the behind the scenes to decide who would go first. So Legs, you get to choose first what you want from the board.
I'm low-key muted. Okay, point actions 1,000.
All right, already going off strong with point actions for 1,000. All right, your question here, remember, do not buzz in until I finish the question. It is going to be, if you hit an opponent's tile while the ball is fully charged and drop shot, you receive this point action, which gives you 10 points per panel that is affected. All right. Legs, that was unfortunately just barely after time. The buzzer had just sounded. I'll let you take a little bit of a guess that won't count to see if you knew it or not, but go ahead.
Probably like a supercharged shot, you know?
No, so that would have been wrong. All good. So the answer we were actually looking for is ultra damage. What is ultra damage? That is whenever you get the ball to the maximum level and drop shot and then hit the ground on the opponent's side. All right, so no one loses points, no one gains points there, so it's all still even. So legs, you get to choose again.
So boost and wheel trails are the same thing, right?
So they are two different categories. One is the boost trail, like the boost that you use behind your car, and the wheel trails are the trails that you use that go behind your tires for when you're supersonic speeds.
Go for boost trails. 600.
Okay, boost trails for 600. Your question here is going to be: in scientific terms, it's a mysterious substance in space that exerts gravity but is invisible and doesn't make light. In Rocket League terms, it was a part of the Champion 3 crate and is a mix of purple and black. That is going to be Claymore.
What is dark matter?
Dark matter is correct. So Clay getting the first points on the board there with 600. Clay, now that you took that, you also get to take ownership of the board to choose your next one.
Coaches 600.
All right, coaches for 600. And that's kind of quick and early, but we already have our daily double tap. The first one, Claymore snipes on the board, is daily double tap. So essentially what that means for Claymore is that he gets to wager what he wants to do. So you have 600 points. You're allowed to wager anywhere between 500 and 600 points on what you think this will be, and you can earn anywhere in between those depending on what you bet. So what do you want to bet for your daily double tap? You can say it out loud. You don't have to DM me.
Okay. Wager 300.
Okay, going half your points. So your question here for the daily double tap on board number 1 is going to be: born in Belgium, this coach hasn't seen as much success as they wanted to, but they do have 2 major titles, leading both Carmine and Gentlemates to 1 each. All right, Claymore. Well, you don't have to buzz in. You just tell me the answer.
Oh.
Because it's only you.
What is Eversex?
Yeah.
Or
all
who
right.
is Eversex?
Eversax is correct. I was like wondering. I was like, I heard someone spamming like their mouse or something, so I didn't know if you were just trying to click it. But Eversax is correct. I will give it to you. So that will put you up to 900, and we are going to move on to the next one as you get to choose once again.
Coaches 800.
Okay, coaches for 800. Your question here is going to be: Google knows this name well, as they were the oldest player to play at a professional LAN at 30 years old, having to fill in for one of their players at Gamers 8 2023. That is going to be Legs.
Oh, this is Lethamir. Who is Lethamir?
Lethamir is incorrect.
Oh.
So that means Green or Claymore. One of y'all can steal. That is going to be Claymore.
Who is Chrome?
Chrome is correct. I try to get a little bit there with the Google Chrome. That's why Google knows them well. But yeah, that is right for Claymore, and already going off to a pretty commanding lead, if I do say so myself. 1,700 points within the first 4 or 5 questions. All right, but Claymore, you remain control of the board, and you get to choose once again.
Coaches 1,000.
Coaches for 1,000, getting very confident with this coaches category. Your question is going to be: Wildcard has taken OCE by storm, winning 4 of their 5 regionals in the 2025 season, led by this Aussie, who's a veteran coach for the OCE scene, dating all the way back to their days with Canberra Havoc at Season 8 Worlds. There's going to be Claymore again.
Who is Gemma?
Gemma is correct. And we can now see why Claymore is choosing this coaches category. He is doing well indeed at it. So Claymore, you get to go ahead and choose another one.
You know what? Let me get coaches 400. I'm just gonna keep going.
Just running the category. I like it. All right, your coach here is going to be: we all know Europeans are good at this game, but when you put this French coach with them, it feels like whoever they coach cannot lose, especially after their team just swept Championship Sunday of the most recent major. There's going to be Claymore again.
Who is Farah?
Farah is correct. Yeah, Clay, you want to give the other opponents a chance? Legs and Green are just kind of sitting and listening. Oh, good.
Listen, I'm gonna lose eventually.
Oh, good. I wonder which one you'll choose next, but why don't you entertain us, Claymore? What are you thinking?
Let's clear out the coaches category real quick.
Oh,
All right, going ahead and getting the last one off the board. Your coach's question for 200 is: This coach is helping propel the best team in NA to hopefully finally take over EU at Worlds, after leading them previously to the grand finals of the 2024 World Championship where they would lose. Claymore once again.
Who is Sathu?
Sathu is correct. So Clay sweeping the category. I think that's either the first time or second time. I can't remember if it was last week that happened, but I think they came close to it. But that's the first time I remember seeing that a whole category was swept by one person. So Claymore, a strong start, already at 3,300, proving himself worthy, and you get to choose once again, but not from the coaches category.
Yeah, let me get venue 600.
Venues for 600. All right, your question here. Remember, it can be either the name of the venue itself or the city. I will accept either. 600 question. Home of G2's Nightmares and BDS's Takeover, this place held the 21-22 and 2024 World Championships. Legs.
This is Austin, Texas. Not Austin, Texas. Texas.
That is incorrect.
No.
So anyone can steal. Claymore.
Where is Dixon Arena?
That is incorrect. Green, if you would like to steal, you can. Green.
What is Dickey's Arena?
Dickey's Arena is correct. And also, legs, just for future, remember to frame it in a question.
Yeah,
I know that the answer is still wrong no matter what, but it has to be in a question or else I will count it wrong.
Bought a ticket to that RLCS too, bro.
All right, well, Green getting his first question on the board, so he now is able to choose which one he wants.
Let's go training for 600.
Training for 600, your question is going to be: Almost every game has one, but for Rocket League specifically, it teaches you the basics of how to drive, use boost, flip, and even power slide. All right, that is time. The answer we were looking for, because pretty much every game has one, is what is the tutorial? The tutorial teaches you how to drive, use boost, flip, and power slide in the basics. And then if you do the advanced one, it's a little bit different. But again, no one earning points, no one losing points for taking the risk on that one. So Green, you get to choose which one you like since you got the last question right.
Let's go wheel trails for 800.
Okay, wheel trails for 800. Even though it doesn't look like a sweet treat, the red and white is meant to represent one, as this trail was introduced in the Secret Santa series crate. Green.
What is candy cane?
Candy cane is correct. So Green
Yo.
moving up to 1,400 points there.
That doesn't even look like candy.
I know
Yeah,
it
those
is
like-
a little interesting. I can see what they kind of meant with the red and white, but that definitely does not look like an actual candy cane. All right, but Green, you get to go ahead and choose once more.
Let's go RLCS venues for 400.
LCS venues for 400. Named after a cube of metal, this arena is home to some of the most iconic moments in RLCS LAN history, such as the Justin moment at Season 5 Worlds, or the first ever minor region team making the grand finals in the 21-22 Spring Major. All right, that is time. The answer we were looking for, I'm kind of shocked no one got this one. What is the Copper Box Arena? Or where is London, England? Oh, good though. Again, no one taking the risks, so no one earning or losing points for this one. So Green, once again, you will be able to choose from the board.
Let's go wheel trails for 600.
Wheel trails for 600. This stream of red and green bulbs that sways behind your wheels, introduced in the 2019 Frosty Fest event, allows you to show your holiday spirit. Green.
What is lights? Christmas lights.
That is incorrect. So anyone can steal if they would like to. All right, that is time. Green, you were very, very close. It's not
Holiday
technically
lights.
not holiday. It's another word for Christmas. It's also
Oh,
known as
Xmas.
Xmas. Yeah, Xmas lights was the actual name of it. And while it is very similar and they are technically mean the same thing, they do have two different names, so I cannot technically accept that answer, unfortunately. Either way, though, you still remain in control since no one's got the right question since the last one you answered. So, Green, go ahead and choose again.
Let's go RLCS venues for 800.
RLC has been used for 800. Home of the Cloud9 lower bracket run of a lifetime at Season 6 Worlds, where Cloud9 had to beat the odds, coming in as the number 3 seed in an A.
Mm,
All right, that is time. Looks like everyone's getting stumped on the venues because this one, you know, a lot of people come here to gamble, and Cloud9 definitely gambled with their chances here, meaning that it was Las Vegas, Nevada. I also try to make a little bit of hint by saying beat the odds, kind of referencing the gambling that goes on there. You will see a lot of like some very, very tiny hints like that throughout the question. So I would keep an eye on them. If you don't know, maybe that'll help point you out towards the right answer. That way, Green, once again, it's yours to choose from.
Let's go RLCS venues for 200.
All right, RLC has been used for 200. You asked for another East Coast land and you got one, as the upcoming second major in 2025 is hosted here. Green.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
That is incorrect.
Ooh.
Claymore legs, you can steal. Claymore.
Where is the rally major?
That is correct. You did not phrase your answer as a question, Green, so I cannot accept that as a right answer, but it is Raleigh, North Carolina. So therefore, Claymore will get the points for that one.
Dang, Green, you're going there too. It's crazy.
All right, so Claymore now having control of the board, and you get to choose again.
Let's go venues 1,000.
Venues for 1,000, getting the second category fully off the board here. This place held Season 8 Worlds, known for their real passion for football, where Justin and Garrett G would finally get their first World Championship title, and Turbo Poso would get their fourth. If y'all get this one, I will die. Legs.
Madrid. Wait, where is Madrid?
Where is Madrid is correct, and that one,
Boom!
like I said, I am shocked. Either way, good from legs. It moves them back to negative 400. So closing back in on the positives. The legs, you get to choose now which one you'd like from the board.
Point actions 600.
Okay, point actions for 600. Part of the hoops extra mode, this point action gives you 20 points for scoring without it hitting the rim or backboard. Legs once again.
A swish. Well, what is a swish? What is a swish?
That is incorrect.
No.
So either Claymore or Green can steal. Green.
What is a swish?
That is correct. Yeah, it's got to be the first time. I was a little lenient the first time, but from now on, I will have to hear it the first time.
My bad.
All good. So Green, you get to choose now which one you'd like from the board, as 2 categories are already down, but you still got 4 to go.
We do boost trails for 800.
Boost trails for 800. Part of the 2017, part of the first fan reward item drop between 2017 and 2018, you could receive this boost, translating to Sun from Greek, for watching Rocket League broadcasts live. Green.
What is Helios?
Helios is correct. So Green now moving up to the 2000s, getting within Claymore by 900. Green, go ahead and choose once again.
Do boost trails for 400.
Boost trails for 400, going on to the easier side of them. These little blue spheres are squeaky clean, helping you keep your car nice and shiny while also helping you to float like one. Claymore.
What is bubbles?
Bubbles is correct. So Claymore getting the 400-point question there, moving up to 3,300. Once again, Claymore, you get to take lead of the board.
Let me get training for 1,000.
Training for 1,000. Question here. You can choose between aerial, striker, or even goalie training if you want to train that specific trait in your gameplay. But you have to choose between these 3 difficulties you want to train on before hopping in. I will need to know the name of all 3. Claymore.
What is basic, intermediate, and expert?
That is incorrect. So either legs or green, one of y'all can steal if you would like to. Green.
What is beginner, intermediate, and expert?
That is I believe that is incorrect as well. Cause I can't even give you hints. I'm sorry. But would you like to try to steal?
Yeah, yes.
All right.
What is aerial, striker, and goalie?
That is, but I'm gonna need you to stop cheating, or else I will have to kick you from the game. I can see it on your monitor.
Oh, my bad.
So this is your first strike. I'm not going to give you points for that, but if you do it again, you will be removed. Moving back to the board, it is going to go. It was Rookie Pro and All Star, but green, since no one got that one right, you will be able to choose from it again.
We do wheel trails for 400.
Wheel trails for 400. It is going to be this electrifying wheel trail will send shocks through the ground as you go supersonic speeds, generating this behind your tires. That is going to be green.
What is lightning?
Lightning is correct. So that is up to 1400 for green after getting the last one wrong. So still moving back within Claymore, only within 900. So you get to choose once again, green.
We do boost trails for 200.
Okay, boost trails for 200. This super rare boost was only given out in the super early days of Rocket League, and now it can be used as a status symbol to show your OG status, or if you were just wealthy enough to get it during the trading days. Legs.
That is alpha boost. Wait, what is? Okay, yeah, I'm wrong.
Yeah, that is incorrect. So, someone can steal green. Green, you can steal if you like.
What is alpha reward gold rush?
That is correct. Alpha Boost or Gold Rush would have been acceptable for either. So green getting the points there and taking him up to 1600. And before we go into the next one, I think Legs, did it say you disconnected from the buzzer?
Yeah, I got kicked. Okay, there we go. I'm back.
All good. Just try to join back once you can.
All right, I'm in. It just says green. Has it locked?
It's probably just because there we go.
Ooh.
Alrighty. So getting back into the board. Green, go ahead and choose your next one.
We do training for 800.
Training for 800. Only available on PC. This breaks the boundaries of the game, allowing for more creativity by not being bound to a Rocket League map, but instead the community creating their own for things such as aerial training, dribbling training, or even hide and seek maps and so much more. Legs.
What is Steam maps?
That is correct. It is Steam maps, workshop maps, whatever you want to call it. But that is the technical term, so that will be given 2 legs, and you are back to negative 400, but still not in the positives. So you need to make up some ground here. You still got ways to go, though, so go ahead and choose which one you like, Legs.
What is? I mean, not what is. Boost trails for 1,000.
Boost trails for 1,000. Okay, getting our third category off the board. If you had Twitch Prime, you could link your Rocket League account with your Twitch account between 2019 and 2020 to obtain this purple and white boost. Green.
What is confetti?
Confetti is incorrect. So Legs or Claymore, one of y'all can steal if you would like. Alright, that is time. The answer you're looking for, kind of clever the way they named it. What is the streamer boost? Based on, because it looks like
Really?
streamers and, you know, just Twitch, so. Alrighty. So green, you still remain on, green, you were the one that chose last one, right? I'm not going crazy. Or was it Legs?
Legs did.
Okay, so Legs, you get to choose from it. Sorry, my brain's a little still messed up from earlier, but we are all good. Legs, you can go ahead and choose which one you like.
Let's go point actions 800.
All right, point actions for 800. This point action was removed from the game, but when it was in, it would give you 10 points for hitting the ball 3 times in a row without letting it hit the ground. is time again. The answer we were looking for is what is juggle? Juggle
removed that
used to
from
be
the
in the game
game?
for a while. Yeah, they did remove it from the game. They still have
Oh.
the attribute for it or whatever you call it for like certifications, but they don't have it in the game as a point anymore, which I find kind of odd. But hey, Psionics does what Psionics does. Okay, so I can't control that. Either way, you get to choose once again, legs.
Real Trails 1000.
Wheel trails for 1,000, getting the last 1,000-point question off the board before we move to all easy ones, pretty much. Your 1,000-point question here. The name of this trail makes sense when you realize how much of it generates, going supersonic speeds and being able to stick to walls. That is going to be legs.
Hot Rocks.
Hot Rocks is incorrect. Green.
What is friction?
Friction is correct. So that's going to be 1,600 and legs once again. Even though it was wrong, I will need you to answer it in a question form, or else I will count it wrong no matter what. Alrighty. So now moving on, we will have green now choosing from the very little that we have left of the first board.
We do point actions for 400.
Point actions for 400. All right. Question here for point actions is, while this does look like a football play call, it actually gives you 25 points for getting 3 assists in a game. That is green.
What is playmaker?
Playmaker is correct. So green moving up to 2,000 and almost taking the lead from Claymore right on his tail. Green, you get to choose once again.
We do point actions for 200.
Point actions for 200. You receive 20 points for this action where you score from backflipping into the ball. Legs. Legs, you're muted. Legs, you there?
I can see him talking.
Yeah, I don't know why, but he is muted. I'll give you like an extra 5 seconds to try to figure out why you get unmuted.
Hello.
There we go.
What is bicycle kick?
Bicycle is correct. Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. All good though, as that is the right answer. So that will move you into negative 1,200 now, and you get to take over the board once again.
Training 400.
Training for 400. The last 400 question before we move on to our final 2 of the first board. This utilizes a mix of psionics and the community, but mainly the community, where they create specific types of packs that you can use to work on certain types of shots or saves. Legs.
What is training packs?
I need you to be a little bit more specific on it. Because yes, they are training packs, but it has a certain name for it.
What is custom training packs?
Custom training is correct. So that gives you 400 points there. And that is going to move into our final 2 questions on the board. Go ahead and choose which one you'd like to take first.
Wheel Trails 200.
Wheel Trails for 200. Sharing the name with a popular song made by MKTO. This is the OG Wheel Trail. Green.
What is classic?
Classic is correct. So green now within 100 points of that first place. And green, why don't you go ahead and just let us know which one we'll be choosing for the last one.
Training for 200.
Training for 200. All right, getting done with our first board of the night. Going to be, with no opponents to worry about in any map in the game with an open field and unlimited boost, you can use this area to practice any skill you want by hitting the ball around the field or just driving around working on your game speed. Claymore.
What is free play?
Free play is correct. So that will bring your total up to 2,500. First category is going to be season teams. So essentially what I mean by this is the game mode that pretty much no one plays. You might have whenever you were like early in the game to kind of learn it. There are teams like logos you can choose from. I'm going to show you a picture of that logo and give you a description of it. You have to tell me the name of the team that it corresponds with in the game. All right. Secondly is going to be blueprint costs. So blueprint cost essentially is I'm going to describe a blueprint. I'm going to give you the rarity of it. I'm going to tell you what item it is, and I'm going to tell you whether it is painted or not and what attribute it has, if it has any. You are going to have to tell me how much it cost in credit terms. All right. Third category is going to be iconic moments. So I will give you a description of an iconic moment that has happened in the RLCS. You will have to tell me either the quote itself or the people that were involved in it or what happened during that iconic moment. It will be described more in the question, as you'll kind of see whenever we choose it. But for now, this is just going over anything iconic that should be known within the RLCS scene. All right, the fourth one is going to be RLRS teams. Pretty self-explanatory. I describe a team that was an RLRS, and you just have to tell me the name of that team. Fifth is going to be NA LAN success. So this could be anywhere from the RLCS hosted LANs to any third-party LANs that brought in a bunch of big talent from all different regions. These are only LANs that North America has won. You will have to tell me the name of that LAN. And then our sixth category, if we're doing NA LAN success, we obviously have to do EU LAN success. So same thing, just different region. So I believe Claymore, you were the last one to get one right on the last board. So you will take over on this board. Getting started.
Quick question. So you said the season teams, you just had to say the team that corresponds with the logo?
Correct. But remember, this is the teams that are like in the game for the season game mode inside that Psyonix created like back in day one. So it's been in the game since, just like no one really plays it. But they did make decals for them recently, so that might help.
I guess let's do 800 for season teams so I can see what this looks like.
All right, 800 for season teams, just getting a feel for it. Your question is going to be Predators of the Night. This team will look to hunt you down and take a bite out of their competition. Legs.
What is Timberwolves?
That I will count it as correct. They are just the Wolves, but Timberwolves and Wolves are the same thing. So Legs, that will get you back to even. As we will now head to the next one. Legs, you can choose your next category.
Go blueprint costs 800.
Okay, blueprint cost for 800 is going to be a black market Dueling Dragons blueprint, forest green painted with no certification. Legs once again.
Do I have to say, like, what is 2200 credits?
That is correct. Yep. What is 2200 credits? So Legs, just like that, getting 800 back on the board and now into the positives after being in the negatives for a while. So Legs, you get to choose once again.
Season team 1600.
Season teams for 1600. All right, this one is going to be look out below. This team will drop from the ceiling, targeting their opponents and exploding them on the way down. Legs once again.
What are the Rockets?
Rockets is incorrect.
No.
So Green or Claymore, one of y'all can still if you would like to. Green.
What are the Bombers?
The Bombers is correct. So Green taking his first lead of the game as we head into Double Jeopardy. So Green, you get to choose from the Double Jeopardy board now.
We do NA land success for 1200.
Okay, NA land success for 1200. Remember, I'm going to be to know the name of the land. It's not like the last category where it's like the venue or the city. It's just the name of the land itself. For 1200. Yeah. After beating Furia and SSG and uppers at List Land, G2 would have to fend off an unexpected lowers run from Team Queso, where they would bracket reset G2 in the final, but G2 would win the bracket reset in 6 to ensure their victory. Green.
What is the 21-22 winter major?
21-22 major is correct. So that is going to be another 1200 for Green, moving up to 5,000 points on the board. So Green, you get to choose once again what you would like.
We do EU lane success for 1200.
EU lane success for 1200, moving right on over to the neighbors. G2 went into this tournament as NA's 3 seed, but they would surprise everyone by making the finals, but losing to Vitality after beating them in the group stages. All right, that is time. The answer we were looking for is, what is the RLCS World Championship of Season 7? Season 7, that's where Vitality won the... I wouldn't say won. Well, no, they did win it all. But, hold on. I don't know why, but my headset just cut out in the middle of this, so...
Hello?
All right,
Can you
there
hear
we
me?
go. I'm back. I'm sorry, my headset was just like died out of nowhere, but we are all good and we are back. So go ahead and choose once again, Green, as no one answered that one right or wrong.
We do RLRS teams for 400.
RS teams for 400. In RLCS Season 9, but before becoming a powerhouse in RLCS, they had to promote through RLRS going 8-1 in the regular season, with their roster consisting of Mark by 8, Monkey Moon, and Clay X.
Mm.
Alright, that is time. This one is a little bit more simpler than y'all think. If you see Monkey Moon and Mark by 8 on the same team, it was Team BDS. They ended up coming from RLRS.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is RLRS?
So RLRS is back when they had like 2 tiers in Rocket League. It was called the Rocket League Rival Series. So this is where tier 2 teams, so like I guess today's bubble scene, quote unquote, they would get a chance to play in a league play system where they would compete for a top 2 spot in the region, and then they would play the bottom 2 teams in RLCS to try to promote to RLCS.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of these team names I feel like you still have probably seen in RLCS. So don't feel like you won't know it. I would just like try to look on, try to think of who the rosters are based on the players, because it will mention the players for the most part on like all of them, from what I remember me putting in. All right, but again, since no one got that one right or wrong, Green, you get to choose once again.
We do blueprint costs for 1200.
Blueprint cost for 1200. All right, the question here: an import Finnick blueprint not painted and juggler certified. That is going to be legs.
What is 1,000 credits?
1,000 credits is incorrect. So Green or Claymore, one y'all can steal. That is going to be Green.
What is 700 credits?
700 credits is also incorrect. So Claymore, if you'd like to try to steal, you can. If not, then you do not have to.
I'm good.
You are good. All right, the answer we were looking for here is the Juggler Certified was kind of meant to throw y'all off a little, because since this technically like a dummy certification, that's not really anything. The import Finnick itself is just 500 credits. So the answer there was 500 credits. All right, but that is going to be right back to Green.
We do blueprint costs for 1600.
Okay, for 1600. An exotic Troika inverted blueprint, burnt sienna painted with no certification. Legs.
What is 900 credits?
900 credits is incorrect. So Clay or Green, one of y'all can steal if you'd like to. Green.
What is 1100 credits?
1100 credits is also incorrect. So Claymore, would you like to try to steal it, or just sit this
I
one out
don't even
again?
know what a troika is. I'm good.
All right, so this is another kind of one of the dummy ones. Burnt sienna is the only painted that does not add a cost onto your any of the
700, bro.
so yeah, so it's just an exotic, which is 700 credits. Alrighty.
Isn't a troika a wheel?
Troika is a
Yeah.
wheel,
Yeah.
but the
like
inverted
blue.
version is exotic. So that's why I said the exotic Troika
Oh.
inverted. Because remember, all of the blueprint costs are going to have the very I just blinked on the word. But it'll have whether it's exotic, black market, that kind of stuff on it, so it's a little bit easier.
The
to
rarity?
Tell. Yeah, the rarity. Thank you. Sorry, my brain is not working that well today. But Green, go ahead and choose your next one, or yeah, go ahead and choose your next one, because no one's gotten another one right since you did.
We do iconic moments for 400.
Okay, iconic moments for 400. It's going to be: this quote, now a quick chat in the game, is what happened when Jogun got to witness the moment of a lifetime, where a rookie got to send Game 7 of the Grand Finals of Worlds to OT with a spectacular 0-second goal. Legs.
What is This Is Rocket League?
That is correct. You almost slipped up there, but caught
Yeah,
yourself just
almost
in
got
time.
cooked.
But yeah, it is What Is This Is Rocket League. So, Legs, you get to choose from the board again.
Blueprint cost 2,000.
Right, getting the blueprint costs in the first 2,000 off the board, actually. That is going to be an exotic Zomba blueprint, titanium white painted and striker certified. Legs.
What is 1,100 credits?
That is incorrect. So Green or Claymore, one of y'all can still, if you would like to.
Mm-mm.
Green's
You
not
can have
taking
this
it.
if you want, Green. I'm good.
Green is not taking any risks after that. All right, so that is going to be time. Legs, you were very close. Very, very close. It was just 100 under that. It was only 1,000 credits. So just on the cusp, but not there, unfortunately. Either way, you do get to control the board once again, so you get to choose which one you like.
Season teams 2000.
Season teams for 2000, getting another 2000 out of the way. This roster relies on teamwork to protect each other and their net to ensure victory that can be heard all over the galaxy. Legs at the buzzer.
What are the Iron Giants?
The Iron Giants are incorrect. So Green or Claymore, one of y'all can still, if you'd like to. That is time once again. I try to give a little bit of a hint by saying all over the galaxy because these are the Guardians, as the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't even remember this team.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing that kind of makes them more relevant is because of all the decals. Like all these teams that I've shown, they got a decal in game. But if you don't really pay attention to that, then it's kind of hard to remember. Alrighty, so once again, Legs, you get to choose from the board of which one you like.
Let's go NA Land Success 2000.
And Lane Success for 2000, getting the third 2000 off the board in a row. Even though version 1 was a top tier NA talent at the time, they would have to play in a qualifier tournament to make this LAN rather than being invited. Where not only did they make the LAN, they won the whole thing, beating Rule 1 in the finals. Claymore.
What is Gamers 8 2024?
That is incorrect. So Green or Legs, now can still. Green.
What is Gamers 8 2023?
2023 is correct. Unfortunately, Claymore, you got the right tournament, just the wrong year.
I mixed it up with, I think, EWC.
Yeah, EWC. That was unfortunate. All good, though. We still got plenty of questions to go through and the Final Jeopardy. Just remember, though, you have to be in the positives to make Final Jeopardy, or else you do not get to participate in it. So, Green, you get to choose which one you like from the board now.
We do NA Land Success for 1600.
All right, the one right under it. A Gen G roster comprised of 2 parts England and 1 part America would go 3-1 in the Swiss stage before beating Team Liquid and FaZe to make the grand finals, where they would take care of Moist Esports in 6. It's gonna be Claymore.
What is the Fall Major 21-22?
That is incorrect. So Green or Legs, you can still in Green taking it.
What is the Fall Major 22 to 23?
22-23 is correct. Again, you got the right major, you just didn't get the right year, Clay. Very unfortunate there, but still plenty of questions left on the board for y'all. So Green, you will be able to choose once again.
We do EU Land Success for 1600.
1600. This EU 4 seed in Northern Gaming wasn't thought to be much as they came in as the lowest seed out of their region, but they would end up taking the Rocket League scene by storm, bracket resetting the 1 seed in EU in the grand finals, then beating them in 7 to claim the title for this tournament. Legs.
What is Vitality?
That is incorrect. So Green or Claymore, one of y'all can steal. That is time. Remember, in this category, we were looking for the LAN that this happened at, not a team or a player. The event that this happened at was Season 3 Worlds. So we were looking for Season 3 World Championship for RLCS. All right, but Green, once again, you get to choose from the board since no one got that one right.
We do Blueprint Cross for 400.
Blueprint calls for 400. A black market 20XX blueprint not painted and no certification. Legs.
What is 2,100 credits?
That is incorrect. So Green or Claymore, one of y'all can steal. Green.
What is 2,000 credits?
2,000 credits is correct. So green now moving up into 6,200. And you get to choose once again from the board.
We do season teams for 1200.
Season teams for 1,200. This prehistoric team may be extinct in real life, but on the pitch, they find a way to come to life. Green.
What are the mammoths?
Mammoths are correct. That moves you up to 7,400 and to choose from the board once again.
We do season teams for 400.
Season teams for 400, getting the second category off the board. This medieval squad is always prepared for battle, sporting a shiny metal suit to help protect them on the field. Claymore.
Who are the knights?
The Knights are correct. That gives you 400 back, Claymore, but still in the negatives. Either way, you do get to choose from the board.
Let me get iconic moments. 1200.
Iconic moments for 1,200 is going to be at the 21-22 World Championship. Sipical had controller issues on kickoffs with this button, especially on 1 and OT, that would allow the other team to score and win just to be called off right after, giving their team another chance to win where they would. Legs.
What is the X button or the A button on controller?
I'm not looking for the specific button. I need to know like what kind of button in game.
Oh, jump. What is jump?
Jump is incorrect. So green or Claymore, one of y'all can steal. Green.
What is the boost button?
Boost button is correct. That will put you up to 8,600. And I remember after where he went on the little sidebar with Athena and Rizzo and was trying to talk about what happened and how he had to get a controller from Gyro.
Yeah, Gyro gave him his controller.
Yeah, Gyro coming in clutch for the boys. But you get to choose once again, Green.
We do iconic moments for 800.
Iconic moments for 800. All right, your question here. During 22-23 Worlds, T-Bates was behind the desk trying to show the play that helped Team Liquid beat Complexity in round 1 of Uppers, but he would end up doing this, which led to his co-casters and everyone else laughing hysterically. Claymore.
He fell backwards. I don't know how to format that.
Yeah, that I have to count that as incorrect.
I don't know how to format that.
So green or like one of y'all can steal.
What is falling over?
That is correct. Yeah, you just had to say that he was falling over or tripping, or I would even take it if you would have said oh no. So green getting that one right. Now up to 9,400, almost into the what is that, quint digits? If I'm right about that, the 5 digits. So let's see if you can hit it here. If someone will be able to come back. Still plenty of left on the board, and a lot of them are big ones too.
We do NA land success for 800.
Getting a smaller one out of the way for 800. NA's 3 seed, comprised of Kernovi, Lachinio, and Overzero, would end up taking the Rocket League world by storm, not dropping a single series and winning it all through an uppers run at this LAN. Legs.
What is vitality?
That is incorrect. So someone can steal if they would like to. Claymore.
What is iBuyPower Gaming?
That is also incorrect. So green, would you like to steal?
What is Northern Gaming?
That is incorrect. Remember, guys, I'm looking for the event this happened at. I'm not looking for the team. Y'all kept saying teams. This was RLCS Worlds 1. When it comes to the success categories, we're talking about the LAN itself, not the team that won it.
Oops.
All good. It seems like everyone's getting a little confused on that. But just remember, for the NA and the EU, that is what it's going to come down to. So either way, go ahead and choose once again, since no one got it right. Green, I believe.
RL or RS teams for 800.
Yeah, RS teams for 800, getting the second one out of the category from this. During RLCS Season 9, the RLRS was hosting a promotion playoff to move up from RLRS to RLCS, where this team of Karma, Shadow, and Turinturo would barely miss out from an open net miss in Game 6 to back-to-back OT losses in Game 6 and 7 to lose the series. Legs.
What is rogue?
Rogue is incorrect. So, green or Claymore, one of y'all can steal. All right, that is time. So while Rogue was in the correct tournament that you were talking about, the team that we are looking for is Charlotte Phoenix. To anyone that knows the RLRS, they pretty clearly remember Karma missing a wide open net in overtime of Game 6 to not send them to the RLCS promotion. And I definitely remember that because I was a heavy Phoenix fan at the time. But either way,
Fair.
Green, you get to choose once again. So which one would you like now?
We do iconic moments for 1600.
Okay, iconic moments for 1600. These two coaches, I'll need the name of both of them, one for NRG and one for version 1, had a foot race at the 21-22 Worlds, where the NRG coach would faceplant almost immediately, declaring the version 1 coach as the winner. Green.
Who are Sizz and Fireburner?
Sizz and Fireburner are correct. So Green now moving up into the 10,000s, taking you to 5 digits. So you get to choose once again off the board that is currently dwindling down to the end.
We do NA land success for 400.
Getting NA land success off the board. The last time NA saw the spotlight was at this event where G2 would take down Team Falcons, looking like the powerhouse everyone knew they were. Green.
What is the 2024 London Major?
That is correct. I would also accepted Major 2, since that is the technical term of it, but a lot of people called it London or the Landon Major. So either one was acceptable, and that is correct, bringing your total up to 10,600. So now only 3 categories remaining.
Can we do EU land success for 800?
EU land success for how much?
800,
For
please.
800? All right. So your 800 question here. The first LAN back from after COVID had no crowd, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a LAN, as Team BDS would beat NRG in the final to put EU back on top after NRG had held onto that honor since they claimed their first world title. There's going to be legs.
Is 21-22 Spring Major.
That is incorrect. So either Green or Claymore, you can steal. Green.
What is the 21-22 Fall Major?
That is correct. It was the fall major that happened at. So Green once again, now moving up to 11,400. You get to choose which one you like next.
Can we do EU land success for 400?
EU lane success for 400, getting the last 400 question out of the way before we move to only medium and hard questions. Carmine Corp has looked deadly for a long time, and they showed why people fear them, winning it all at this event, sweeping the Ultimates in the grand finals. There's going to be legs.
What is Winter Major 23-24?
That is incorrect. So Green or Claymore. Claymore.
What is the Birmingham Major?
The Birmingham Major is correct. That is the most recent major that just happened, where they literally swept through Championship Sunday with ease. So that is going to bring your total up to negative 1,900. You just need one 2,000 question to get back into the positives, Claymore. So you are almost there. But you get to choose which one you'd like.
Iconic moments 2000.
All right, getting the iconic moments off the board. This player would ride into Season 5 World's End style, driving a small red kid's car up to the stage with a sign that tells everyone to follow their socials. That is going to be Claymore.
Who is CJ?
CJ is correct. That puts you back into the positives, making you eligible again for Final Jeopardy, but you would only be able to bet the 100 points you have. So a little bit of a long ways to go compared to Green, but you know, miracles do happen sometimes. Either way, you get to choose which one you like next, Claymore.
RLRS teams 2000.
Okay, RLRS teams for 2000. Back in RLCS Season 6, the promotion playoffs consisted of a team with Sathu, Sipical, and AXB, where they would go on a roll, or B1 to be more exact, beating both Allegiance and Rogue in lowers to make RLCS. Legs.
What is Cloud Gaming?
Cloud Gaming is incorrect, so Green or Claymore, one of y'all can steal. Alright, that is time. The answer we are looking for. Try to give a little bit of hint because I know this one is harder. Is the be a roll to be more exact? Because another name for roll is a bread roll. So they were named What is Bread? Yeah, that's it. It was just what is bread. Interesting name nonetheless. From South Usipical and AXP. They're very creative. You can't tell. Either way, you get to choose once again, Claymore, out of the final 3 before we had a final Jeopardy. Which one you want?
EU Land Success 2000.
All right, EU Land Success for 2000. That is the daily double tap. So Clay, unfortunately, you are barely above positive. If you were in the negatives, you could bet the board maximum, which is 2000. But since you were above it, you can bet anywhere between 5 and 100. So how much would you like to bet?
Bet none. Just answer the question.
You have to bet a minimum of 5. So you just want to bet 5?
10.
Oh, 10? All right. So your daily double tap question. Remember, no one can buzz in or answer this. Only Claymore can. Claymore, you don't have to buzz in to answer. Is going to be: teams from every region were invited to Riyadh to compete in this tournament, where Team Falcons would try to win on home turf, but would end up losing to Team BDS in 6.
What is EWC?
That is EWC. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but that is correct. So that will bring your total up to 110 points. Yeah, moving back up there slowly but surely. Either way, you got 2 more to go. Which one do you want first? They're both RLRS teams. Just depends on the points.
1600.
For 1600. Having to beat teams such as Team Envy and Team Secret in the RLRS promotion tournament, this roster of Rocket League enthusiasts with Snasky, Sicky, and Maestro would go on to upset both teams in the RLCS Season 4 promotion playoffs.
It's still locked.
Oh, sorry. Good call. Legs.
What is Falcons?
Falcons is incorrect. So Green or Claymore, one of y'all can steal. All right, that is time. The answer we're looking for. Some people remember them in RLCS, some people don't. It was actually Fnatic. Who is Fnatic? I also try to give a little bit of hint by saying Rocket League enthusiast. But that one probably just went over everyone's head because it was a little bit hard of a hint. I will admit that. Either way, we got one question left. So Claymore, if you want to go ahead and read off which the last one.
We get RLRS 1200.
For 1200, the final question on Double Jeopardy. This exciting roster consisting of Arsenal, Explosive Gyro, and Reddles back in RLCS Season 7 was a hoot to watch, especially since they would go on to make RLCS in the promotion playoffs through uppers, even though they were the lowest seed going into it. And that is going to be Claymore.
Who is the Peeps?
The Peeps is correct. So Claymore, that will bring you up to 1310. Taking a little bit of a risk there, because if you did get that wrong, you would have been out of it. But I guess you seemed a little confident answering that one.
That's like one of the main ones I remember.
Yeah. All right, so that will bring your total up to 1310. Green taking a solid lead at 11,400. And Legs, unfortunately for you, we have to say goodbye as you did not make it.
Close.
Close, but also so far as a negative 16,000. I mean, if it was positive, you would have been in the lead. Either way, though, it was good to have you on here, Legs. I appreciate you filling in last second. And we wish you the best of luck for the future. You can choose to stick around if you'd like to see whether or not Claymore and Green can get their answers here. But we will be back.
I will watch it on stream.
All right. In that case, we will be back in just a second. We are going to head to break. As right before we do go to break, I am going to give the category that this is going to be based on. So Claymore and Green, listen closely. I'm only going to give you the category. You are going to tell me how much you want to wager in my DMs. You will not say it out loud. So just message me how much you want to wager out of the current points you have. It has to be as low as 5 and as maximum as whatever you have. So the category for the Final Jeopardy is going to be poetic players. What this means is there is a poem. It is like a 4-sentence poem, so it's not that long, that describes a player. You will have to tell me in question form who that player is based on the poem based off of them. This Spaniard was once Magnifico, then Dignitas is where they'd go. From Europe to NA for a brief time, ending back in Europe, dropping dimes. Claymore, you would end up putting Who is Stizzy? And you would wager 200 points. Well, that is correct. That is the right answer we were looking for. Stizzy is right, bringing your total up to 1,510 points.
Woo.
Woo, exactly. Yeah, cheer. Yeah. It's but yeah, moving you up to 1,510. Now, Green. Did you get the question right? And more importantly, if you did get it right, how much did you wager? Nope, wrong button. All right. So, again, I'm not going to read the poem one more time, but let's see. Your answer was CRR, and you bet 1,400 points. So, unfortunately for you, that is incorrect, as you didn't even form it as a question. But either way, the player was wrong, but you had the points to spare. So, in the end, Green, you are our episode 3 champion. So, congrats to Green finishing with 10,000 points on the dot.